Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode from Natties&BS podcast where we talk about wide variety of topics related to bodybuilding and natural bodybuilding specifically. Today episode introduced to you by Mark and Samuel. We are natural bodybuilders and coaches, the hosts of this episode. Before we dive into today's episode, we would like to thank you for listening to our podcast. If you are listening through Spotify, please make sure to give a follow and a rate to our podcast. And if you are listening through YouTube, please make sure to subscribe and activate the notification button to receive about our weekly episodes. Today's episode, we are going to have episode number 3 of our podcast, and today's topic is about the intensifier. Hi, Mike. Hi, Mark. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great, thank you.
Sorry, I don't know. I was talking to a friend of mine. His name is Mike. I keep saying Mike instead of Mark. Sorry.
It's okay, it's good to hear. Yeah, thank you, Sam. I'm doing great.
So,
Uh,
how's your day or week training and everything? All went good?
yeah. Luckily, this week, finally, I managed to work with maximum intensity, so I'm pretty happy. So, following week, I'm definitely expecting progressions already.
Yeah.
Uh,
For people who
luckily,
don't know the context if you are talking about, because you can explain that you are sick or something, because you said you were back. I know, but people don't know
yes.
what was happening.
So this week was the third week uh, after I got sick. Um, uh, I mean, it wasn't that serious, luckily, but um, I had pretty different kind of symptoms throughout 2 weeks, and I didn't manage to train in those 2 weeks, and I lost around 2.5, 3 kgs, um, and obviously felt pretty weak afterwards. So the following week, when I already felt pretty comfortable and healthy enough, I had 3 training sessions with, I would say, 60 to 70% of intensity probably. And after that week, I already had my normal five 5 day training week with a push pull leg upper lower split. On that week, that was the previous week. Um, I did around 85-90% intensity, and this week I could already do like maximum intensity. So it felt complete. It felt amazing.
So when you were sick, you were not able to eat your meals properly, right? That's why you lost weight?
Yes, mostly I consumed quite less calories. Yes,
Hmm.
I was definitely looking after protein intake, but altogether they didn't have that calorie intake that I'm on right now. Or
Oh,
I actually had increases, uh, GOG increased calories 2 times since I was sick. Yeah,
what is your calorie intake now?
3,605.
This is training days, right?
I actually have the same throughout the whole week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So 3.6K.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I'm not that kind of guy who's got a big appetite. So I'm actually surprised I'm doing this good with this amount of calories because it it uh, it used to it used to be much more difficult for me. So I remember I was already struggling with this much calories, or I could only consume this amount by not having this much quality altogether in my diet. So this time it is going pretty good. What about
You
you?
can also use the liquid meals. I know some people, like I recommend it for my clients. Like for example, I have a client who is already like skinny and he want to gain weight, and because he cannot eat too much, so I have to shift some meals into smoothies, so to make it easier to intake. Also, if Derek, that bodybuilder who won the world championship from Germany, the short guy.
Yes,
His
yes,
name-
of course. I know him. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he has during the day he has only two solid meal and two liquid meals because he cannot eat that much.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so for me, my highest calorie was 3,700. It was for 6 months, the gaining phase. And to be honest, at the beginning, it was a struggle to eat all like pure whole food. It's not even 80/20, all pure whole food. And it was a struggle, but I managed to eat it. But now I had a food increase. I told you the last week because I had it on Sunday on my check-in. So now I'm having 3,500 ish on training days and 3,400 on off my off days.
I mean, that's quite a good amount. So, do you feel comfortable consuming this?
Yes. I mean, when I was on my previous calorie intake, I was struggling. I mean, comes to, like I was feeling hungry. Like the hunger was hitting bad. It was 3,300 calories on training days and 300, 150 on the off days. But also the protein intake was high. Like, what's your protein intake, by the way?
220.
Okay. Like, what is your body weight now?
Around 83 kg.
Hmm. This is like 2 point-ish, right? 2 point
Um,
per kg.
almost roughly 2.5 times. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, mine was 3.1. I was consuming 300, 250 protein, but
250.
250, yeah. But I talked with my coach. I said, okay, listen. I mean, we had it this high when I was on the pre-prep diet because um, for society and muscle loss prevention. But when we increase the calories, okay, it's okay. I need more carb now so I can fuel my workouts and recover well
Yes.
because we dropped it from 250 to 230
And what about carbs right now? Above
carb.
400, right?
Yeah, 400-ish. I think I can check here. Yeah, I carb is 400, actually 500, 518 on training days and 460 on non-training days.
Yeah, that's quite a lot already.
Yeah, because fat is low. Fat is 60 grams on my training days and 75 on off days.
Yeah, you mentioned you consumed 3.7 k before. Was it the highest ever calorie intake that you did?
Yes, it was the highest. It was the protein also. I think protein was 230, carb was around 550, and fats also around 60. You prefer high fat or low fat diet, like when it comes to yours?
Um, I actually like the current one. I don't think I'm on a high fat diet. I would say. Um, I'm at around 80 at the moment.
80.
Yeah. I would say I don't think that's too high. uh, considering I'm at 3.6k, and I still have 220 protein and 4 470 or 480 carbs.
Uh, yeah, this is quite. I mean, yeah, this is. I would like to have 80 grams of fat during my
Uh,
muscle
are
memory.
you struggling keeping it around 65?
I don't struggle, but I would enjoy a bit more of fat, to be honest. In the food. I mean, it's when I'm talking about enjoyment, but we are not driven by enjoyment, so
Yeah.
we keep it 60 and the carb high because the recovery I'm experiencing right now and the energy during my workout, I don't want to compensate because it's flying. My training and the progression I'm having these days, especially from last week to this week. If you saw my last post on Instagram and my form on the RDLs, this I would say can people can take longer than 1 week to achieve. I was really impressed when I was watching the video. How I would say controlled form, poses, everything. It was like as a book, like to be taught. When I saw it, I was like, damn, I mastered, I mastered this, and I would like to even make it even better because there is always room to improve. As this is actually a topic we can also mention today, that people always seek progression for repetitions and weight, and mostly weight first and then repetition, but they ignore the form progression. And this is something I experienced this week, where I already reached the upper limit of my top set on RDL, 6 repetition, because I have from 4 to 6 repetition on my top set, and I reached with the weight and the intensity and repetition, but I didn't feel I'm comfortable with my form to move forward. And this is when it comes to bodybuilding compared to other sports, like for example powerlifting or these things. Okay, your form can be okay, but in bodybuilding your form must be more than okay, than to be excellent to move from one weight to another. And I heard you are not doing RDLs anymore, no?
No, I used to do them, but now I do only have hyperextensions as a hip dominant hamstring exercise. But I can definitely agree with your point. So proper exercise execution is really important, in my opinion. And in some cases, if I feel like I went too far with the weight, and it happens that I feel like my form is not that great. I mean, it's not far off, but I don't like it anymore. It doesn't look good in my eyes, and so, in that case, sometimes I decide to actually drop weight for the given exercise, so I can perform it with a better weight, better form. Sorry, with a better form, and I think if someone realizes this in the future, you can actually uh, progress in a better way in that exercise. So let's say in lateral raises for for the 17.5s or the 20 kg, I feel like um, I don't like that execution for myself. So I decided to drop to a lower dumbbell and perform that exercise with that one with a much better looking form, and I usually can uh, further progress that movement in that case.
Yeah, I can agree with
Have
you. I
you?
can relate. Like, for the lateral raises part, I had this ego lifting in the lateral raises um, before. Before I work with AJ, I was doing only low intensity, sorry, high intensity, low volume. Like I don't reach maximum 8 reps on any exercise, even the lateral raises. Uh, I reached to do with 20 kg. I was doing 8 repetition, I think. And one time, I think I did for a couple of times 23, but the form started to break down so easy. So now I'm doing 16 kg, trying to reach somewhere between 10 to 15 rep range, and the lateral raises. And in this rep range, it's like for me, it's a sweet spot where I feel my muscle or the connection with side delts at the best. And my delts were a strong point, and now it's even getting better and better.
How many
So
lateral raise variations do you have
um,
in your program?
so I do two. I have a hip height cable behind back, single arm, and this is in my push day. And in my pull day, I have the classic dumbbell raises. Not
How
everyone for
much?
3 sets.
How many sets?
No, yes.
How many sets are these altogether?
So in the cable, I do it my rep, and my upper day when I do the dumbbells, I do it. I do 3 sets.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, actually mentioning the my rep, so it is our main topic for today. So intensifiers. Uh, how do you see intensifiers, or do you use them in your own program?
Yes. In a few exercises, I do have rest pause sets. I think I introduced this just a few months ago, probably. But I think you really have to be careful with this because you just cannot add these. I mean, you cannot just add an additional rest pause or drop set to just add another set because I think that could easily lead to diminishing returns probably because you might not be able to recover from this. So I think in most cases, if an intensifier is added, you should probably drop volume in some way. So in the exercises when I do have rest pause sets, I only have 2 working sets. I mean that's what I usually have as well, but I think I can still manage it this way in terms of recovery. So I have my push days. I have rest pause set for lateral raises. I do a normal one, and the second one is a rest pause one. And on my first leg day, on my like, which is Wednesday for me, I actually have on the laying leg curl. My second working set is a rest pause one, and on leg extension, my first one is a rest pause, and then and the second one is a normal one. Yeah. So
So would you recommend intensifiers for beginners, or you only work it with at least intermediate or advanced lifters?
I probably wouldn't go for intensifiers. Um, at for a beginner. So within the first half or 1 year, definitely not, or probably even more time is needed. It depends how or the individual
Is invested in
develops.
the workout. Yeah.
Yes, yes. What kind of intensifiers do you use?
Well, I do also. The only intensifier I use is like Q'd wrist pose or the MyRep sets. The way I implement it, so just to clarify, like why we do intensifiers, people think about it as magic, or intensifiers is something that's like, wow, it's going to bring up the muscles that is lagging, and it is gonna create the amazing stimulus. And okay, yes, it has a good part, but it's not magic, and it's not gonna cause the things that normal sets will do. So for me personally, when I use intensifiers, the rationale behind it is we use intensifiers to save time in long sessions. So when we have very long sessions and many exercises to follow up with, adding intensifier will save us more time, and will be while having the more quality reps we need to stimulate the muscle. So I have them in my leg days, and I have them also in my push days. In my push days, I do lateral raises, cable as my rep set. So I do rep range between 10 and 15. When I reach failure in this rep range, I take 5 deep breaths, and I keep adding more sets after every 5 deep breaths until I reach 20 repetition total, maybe one less, one more. Also in my leg days, the second leg day, I have it on my leg extension. Same. I used to have it before in the calves when I used to do calves 3 times a week, but my recovery started to trend down. That's why I removed one calf day. So now I'm doing it only 2 times, and actually my calves started to grow. And I was not doing something crazy about my calves, for example, but I think this part is purely about genetics, because I was doing only one exercise 3 times a week. So one time it was wrist pose set, and second time was 3 sets, and third time also another 3 sets. So nothing crazy. A total of 9 sets a week, which is not too much. A lot of people can tolerate this. A lot of people can do even 4 days and have a good recovery, but for me it didn't work. It was overkill for me. I was regressing. So I need to drop the volume. And this is something I would like also to share today, that people are religiously following people who, like, when they see a good coach or is their favorite influencer in social media doing something or programming an exercise, they do exactly as they do, and they don't monitor how they recover, how they perform, and if their workout is trending up week to week, progressing or regressing. There's a lot of things people need to be aware of when it comes to using a specific intensifier or training method or frequency in their workouts. Or what do you think?
Yeah, I can definitely agree with you. One thing I also wanted to ask: have you tried any other intensifiers before?
Currently, no, but before, yes. I did drop sets before, and to be honest, at some point when I'm trying a new weight, sometimes didn't really did my calculation correctly, and I go a bit higher, that I don't reach 10 repetitions with my weight, or I have maybe bad day that I don't reach my usual of 12 or 11 or so repetitions. Say for example I did 8 or 9, so I take the 5 deep press pose, and I decrease the weight. So it's kind of drop set, my rep set,
Hmm.
but I don't usually do this because I feel it is kind of more taxing for me on my overall affecting recovery. So I just like to keep things as it is. But yeah, my experiences before only my rep and drop set. And you?
Yes, I also used to do drop sets, but in a pretty like in my pretty unexperienced era. So when I started working out in a gym, because previously I did calisthenics, so like body weight training, or
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, and I was still playing football when I started doing calisthenics. After a while, I purchased a weight vest, which helped me to progress through dips and pull-ups and this kind of stuff. And when I started working out in the gym, I remember I did push pull legs 2 times a week, so I only had Sunday as a rest day, uh, and I went crazy with drop sets on leg extensions. So literally every training session, at least my last working set or even the last two, I had drop sets, and for the last one, not that I just did a drop set, but I usually also ask someone to come over and help me when I finish my third weight for the drop set. I ask that individual to push down the pad so I can press my leg against it and suffer.
Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, no wonder
And
why you
and
have big legs.
I've seen this actually many times uh, in the case of newbies and beginners in the gym. So I think it it is pretty common. I mean, uh,
I mean,
at
it
least
is
I already
like,
knew I could train hard. So yeah, that is probably the only positive thing that could be said about this, because to say the least, it did not have recovery for sure.
yeah, this was what I'm going to say, that how was the recovery? I mean, we don't learn from for free, you know. We have to suffer first to learn.
Yeah, and also one really important thing to mention is that I, I s- I was way far from um, recording my workouts. I mean, like writing them down. So I was not progressing at the time. I mean, I was progressing, but not in a way that I had my working sets written down or something like that. So that might be the reason I could recover from that. So from workout to workout, I probably did not even remember which weight I was using last time. So it is possible that there might not even have been a weight increase.
Yeah, true. We all had this phase in our training journeys that we were not tracking anything, just going for day-to-day exercising, just randomly, not even focusing with. I mean, at least you were focusing on high intensity. For me, I reached a point that I was just training in the safe zone, and I mean, until discomfort, let's say. You know, this level of intensity that Dorian Yates make fun of in his videos these days. So yeah, I'm just going to do 3 sets, pyramid sets. First set, I don't know, 8 to like 12 to or something, and then I increase the weight and reduce the sets, the repetitions. So I was doing this at some point without reaching failure. So it was not a productive sessions, but just maintaining the physique I had at that time. But since I pushed the limits, I have been experiencing a lot of increasement in like strength and muscle gain, especially this last year. So since April, I'm going to do a post in April, so it's gonna be 1 year training with this style, and like keeping a follow up with my diet and tracking my lifts. The change is crazy. It's gonna be actually the same body weight. So I started 80-ish, like 80.4, 80.5 kg, and now I'm uh, I'm almost 80. So maybe within this month I will be 80. So it's gonna be a really nice and interesting comparison between before and after.
Was it last April when you started working with AJ?
Yeah, we have our onboarding call at the end of March, and first, like we started first week of April was the plan. So I have another topic that I have written for today's episode about victim mentality in genetics. So these people who keep crying, saying, I don't have strong chest or strong legs to, and it's my genetics, whatever I do, it's not coming up. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I believe it is actually very common. Um, Usually, these people, I think, have never trained and not training those lagging muscle groups uh, properly and with enough volume. So that could also lead to what you just said, that they act like a victim to their genetics. I mean, normally everyone has lagging body parts just due to genetic reasons. Let's say, as you've just mentioned, in my case, I would say my chest is is definitely not up there. Neither my arms, so nor my biceps and my triceps. I would say it is getting better, luckily. Um, and for the stronger parts, I would definitely. I mean, that's already not part of the victim part, but I would say my legs and back probably. I'm also fine with my shoulders, so these are the ones I would say are probably above average. What about you? How do you feel about this?
To be honest, I was suffering from this before. Like I used to have legs that were lagging behind compared to my upper body, especially arms. Um, the reason was that I think I had an issue like I cannot squat properly. So I'm not sure if it is because of like the bone structure of my femur and my pelvis, because this is actually a something that people have, because the femur, your like your hips bone connected with the pelvis, it's like a ball and socket. So some people have it, the pole is very like curvy around the bone that limits your squats. range of motion, and there is people have it more of like a bit like open or shallow, that they have more freedom in the movement. Um, this genetics reason can be part of it, but there is always way around it. Working on to improve your mobility and lifting your ankle with weightlifting shoes, or these pumpers is it at the gym that lift your heels, or you can use just weight plates or something to elevate your heels. Um, and I used to have a lot of issue with my knee joints, maybe also because of the same reason. But actually, after I learned more into my studies in the corrective exercise and how to uh, work out more pain-free, that helped me a lot to improve my legs. And this is one part. The second part, when it comes to programming and nutrition also, because like, I mean, if you have a good body part that is benefiting from the minimum you're doing when it comes to training and nutrition and recovery, so the lagging body part will need extra attention. So you have to work as twice as hard at the gym. Um, Make sure your food and your nutrition are on point when you are trying to bring up your lagging body part. Your sleep and recovery should be also on point. So you can level up your physique to the next level and have less and less of a weak or lagging body parts, and bring it up to the maybe not the same level as your strength point, but to a level that it is not annoyingly obvious that you have a weak body part, which I can see like when it comes to my legs, because they were really annoying for me. So legs at the first part were annoying, and chest next, but chest is not, I wouldn't say that the major problem, like, or major thing to worry about, because it is okay. But the legs was really hectic for me. And I also had a lower back injury, which limited my training for legs last summer for 3 months, which was half of my gaining phase. It was pretty annoying for legs, very, very annoying for me. So actually, but when I dieted down and revealed the tissue I have built during this gaining phase, okay, I was limited, but I didn't stop completely training the legs. It was okay. Like I learned that it's also having more fats and some body parts. For me, I'm accumulating more fats in my lower body. It was making it look smaller. And when I dieted down, it came out that I have some, I still have good legs, or at least not bad. Let's say good. No, not bad legs. And now when I'm in this gaining phase, now in finished week 11 out of 14, I can tell that I also benefited from this 3 months of gaining so far. And yeah, I can see even when I'm gaining more body fat, the legs are growing and growing. So uh, when you're programming on point, recovery and nutrition, so things are going to get better at some point.
So right now your main focus uh, is on legs, right? Uh,
Yeah, I'm focusing on legs as much as I can, and it is working. Uh, I even did extra exercising, because like we are now on calorie surplus, so it's okay if you can experience or try adding new exercises that can benefit the weak body parts, as for me the hamstrings. So I increased 45 hyperextension, and it has been working really good for me. Um, yeah, I even have a discussion with my coach today that I wanted to do some tweaks for my programming, because, for example, in my upper body, I have upper body day. I have 3 sets of triceps push down. cable or bar. So I told them, okay, what about having 2 sets of push down and 1 set of overhead? And for the biceps, instead of 3 sets of curling, maybe we can have 2 sets of normal curl and 1 set of hammer curl. I was thinking how to make the programming more collective and covering attacking the muscles from every different like every angle possible, and having more variety in training within the same volume. And this is something that people should be thinking about. If you even have a coach, okay, they will lead you correctly if you choose a good coach, but this doesn't mean that you should not block your mind. You should block your mind and not think about it yourself. You can still think about improvement yourself and talk up with your coach about it, because it's built about communication, how to improve your physique and how to improve your training. Because if you have the best coach in the world, it will come to a point that we are different individuals and our responses are different, and our perspectives and our training and physiques are different from one person to another. So if you have really serious goals like competing, and like me and you have, we should be thinking about how to make it better and better day by day, and talk with our coach about it to build it up in a way that bring the best package to stage.
Yes, I also have like times when I feel there should be a change made in my program, or there might not be the need to change, but I feel stressful about it, because I feel like there's room to improve and there should be a change made, but it might not even be necessary. I just don't feel like I'm progressing properly, or uh, my physique is getting better. But I think it might just be our minds playing with us in some cases.
Yeah, that's why we always should be communicating. That's why not doesn't matter how good you are, you need to have a coach, to have a second eye and a second opinion to discuss with, and they will tell you if you are thinking with your emotions or you are thinking with your mind for better results. And not always my coach say I have a good point of view. I say, Samuel, you said 1, 2, 3, 4. I can agree with you on 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think it is necessary.
Was there ever a point for you when you really felt like you're a victim of your own genetics, and felt like giving up working out and yeah, just finishing it?
For me, like, okay, as I said, I had this victim mentality at some point, but this, I wouldn't say I accepted it. So I had the thoughts, but I didn't make it lead my decisions. So I kept showing up at the gym. I kept trying to train as hard as I can. Um, Maybe it could be there could be better approach, but at some point it was only me training without any second opinion. So I didn't um, um I didn't accept the fact that I have bad legs or something, and I just stopped training legs for some at some point. I just kept trying with the knowledge I had back then when I was teenager. So just didn't give up, keep pushing. I mean, this is my mentality, and this is why I kept improving till today. That I find I try to work around it and improve in any possible way. And how did you manage to, when you have, for example, look at your weak points, like when When you said your arms, for example, did you accept the fact or try to improve it when you were working out on your own before coach?
Before I had a coach.
Yeah, like, I mean, you could realize this before, right?
Um,
Or you didn't really pay attention to this, like if I have a bad muscle
I,
or good
I
muscle.
I used to not pay attention to that extent that I'm paying right now. I mean, that's obvious because I didn't compete at the time. But yeah, I mean, there were a few cases when I felt like I had lagging body parts, but um, if I remember well, I didn't feel like managing this issue. So I just kept training my legs with full intensity 2 times a week, and that's why uh, after a while my basically my whole upper body felt like a lagging body part. So and I'm not sure, but I might still have I still might be a bit lower body dominant, but it is definitely getting much more balanced. So the way uh, in the last roughly year I managed my arm training is the way I added more volume to arms is that I have I started push pull legs. I have 4 working sets of triceps on my push day. I started with four biceps work, 4 working sets for biceps on pull day, and I recently added an additional working set, and it feels like I'm recovering pretty well from that. So I have 5 working sets in total on my pull day, uh, and even on Wednesday, on leg day, I start with a triceps push down. So on that workout, I feel like I have the chance to add a bit more volume to my triceps. So I'm actually training triceps 3 times a week. I used to have 3 working sets on that exercise, and I just dropped it to 2 because I feel like it might affect my pressing movements and other triceps exercises. I think these 2 working sets should be plenty if I can keep progressing in that exercise. So and on Saturday I have an additional 4 working sets of triceps. So throughout the whole week I actually have 10 working sets of triceps, which is I wouldn't say it's low. What do you think?
Uh, I mean, definitely you can do more. I'm not sure how is like if your recovery is good, I believe you can do more because for me, I do one set of three and one myo rep and another and the upper day I do another set of three. So let's say 6 sets and one myo rep response for triceps. For biceps, I have 9 during the week. 3 preacher curl, 3 behind back curl, cable curl, and 3 um, normal cable or dumbbell curl, like next, like one upper arm next to the body. So yeah, I think maybe if you're recovering good, you can push more and try because biceps and triceps are small muscle groups, but it actually depends, I believe, the recovering and genetics. Because for me, also calves are a small muscle group and recovering fast. Some people train 3-4 times a week and it's growing. For me, it's a lagging body part also, but if I train it 3 times per week, it's not recovering well. and I find more growth now. I can see visible difference when I train it only two times, but I train two times with 4 sets per week, two straight knee, two seated, and I can really feel the difference. It is recovering and it is growing. You can give it a test. Maybe you can just to not have your sets for longer. You can try more of rest pose.
Yeah, actually, I've never tried rest set for neither biceps nor triceps. So yeah, I might give it a try in the future. Um, I actually have only one less working sets a week for biceps, so that's 9 for biceps and 10 for triceps. Um, Basically, the reason I did this is that triceps contribute more to like over arm size, I would say.
Yes, like
I mean,
75
that's
percent.
actually a fact. So,
Yeah.
and I feel like it is even more lagging than my biceps, even though my biceps are not good either. And I feel like I'm a victim of my biceps genetics as well. Still, since they are, uh, I would say, shorter, like very pretty short, like shorter than normal, and so those typical short peaky biceps.
Yeah, like who? I think Ronnie Coleman used to have a short biceps too, or no, not Ronnie. Is there someone famous, like one Olympian guy?
Kai Green.
Kai Green, yes, yes. For me, it's not short, but it's not the tallest. I think it's somewhere in between.
I
Um,
mean, I think yours is pretty full. Like in even in a resting position, you can see that it it like how do you say
Taking the
fills your
full upper
whole
arm, you
upper
mean?
arm.
Hmm. Like when it comes to arms, for me, I think I have okay. My arms are good. My triceps is big, but I believe when I get myself into posing, I don't show the full potential of my triceps. I
Rather, what do you think? Rather in side poses or front poses?
and side poses.
Side, uh-huh.
I was thinking maybe my longer head is more developed than the lateral head of triceps. Maybe this is the reason why it's not showing that big on the side poses. But I don't know. I need to practice more tweaks in my posing to see if I can, because definitely I feel that I'm not showing the full potential when I pose my side shots.
How often do you practice posing right now? Because if I'm not mistaken, you're pretty close to starting your competition prep, right? You're just a few weeks out from the start. I mean,
Yeah, three now. I have the next 3 weeks on still on gaining phase, and fourth week is going to be the first week of the prep. So I'm practicing posing every single morning for 2 rounds, starting from last week of October. But when I was on travel for Christmas vacation for 2 weeks, I stopped. And when I came back, the first 2 weeks, when I came back, I didn't practice because of my biceps. I didn't want to put more pressure on biceps because of the injury. So yeah, I spent 1 month off, but from I would say third week of January, I came back to practice posing every single day. I started first week with 1 round every morning. Now I'm doing 2 rounds again. Um, I would say what I want to improve in my posing is my mobility and side relax, especially on my left side. because I feel that I have kind of thoracic immobility limiting me from doing the pose correctly. What I did manage to improve a lot is my back poses. Like I used to struggle on controlling my lower body. Okay, I didn't perfect it yet, but at least it's I look less stupid than before. Like I could manage to push my adductors and quads on my back poses. I reached the point where I was doing it good, but now sometimes when I see the pictures, some shots are good, some shots are not. So I'm trying to improve the control level of these poses. What I'm doing good is now I believe front poses I can do it okay. The mandatory one and the classic one like teacup and the other teacup, but when your hand is above you,
Yes,
behind your
I've
back.
seen it.
Yeah, and this one I love it because I have a small waist, and when you do this one, you are showing the gift you have because having a small waist is just a gift. So it is very good advantage. So to hit it on stage. And especially if there is competitors with not small waist. So keep showing this I think will attract the eyes of the judges at some point. Um, yeah, and I want to improve my posing on more classic shots because now I used to suck at Arnold back twisting pose, but now I improved it a lot. Um, I believe there is still more room to improvement. But what I want to focus on the next period is practicing more onto posing routine because I didn't do any posing routine so far. Just trying to and focus on the mandatories and the classic poses, which is the more important because when you practice these and you master them, I think the routine was going to be more easier to do.
Yes, but I think you're at a good spot because you started practicing posing early enough. So you've mentioned last October, right? So
Yep.
uh, pretty deep into your off season, let's say. So
It was
let's
on
start
I
with
started in the pre-prep diet.
oh yeah. Sorry, yes. So basically, you've been practicing posing for 4 months already,
Yeah, I
if
had
I'm
one
right,
month of pause,
roughly.
so let's say three.
Or
Yeah.
yeah, if we exclude your holiday, you can say 3 months at least, and you still have your whole prep. So I think you're definitely at a sweet spot.
Yeah, and when I went to meet Alex for a posing session, he told me okay, after he asked me to do the mandatories first, and he said, okay, I had really a low expectation when you said you have never had any session of posing before, but you are better than I expected. And we had to do some minor tweaks, but nothing major, just to fix things. So people say that if you don't know how to pose, don't keep practicing because you will practice wrong. But for me, I didn't know how to pose. I used to suck at posing. But when I was practicing with myself, I am like within, let's say, it took me 1 to 2 months to fix the basics and do okay posing. And I was progressing every week. So just I mean, looking at the mirror will not be good all the time, but at least when you're beginning, so you can see what you are doing. Once you are sure that you are hitting the poses correctly, I believe this is a time when it comes to practice without a mirror. So you can, because on the stage you will not have mirrors. So
Do you have any other questions written down?
For today, I am okay. I we covered everything from my side.
Yeah, same for me. So
Okay, so we're gonna call it a episode. I mean, 1 hour flight so fast.
yes, yes,
So, guys, if you are still listening, we would like to thank you for staying 1 hour with us. And if you are interested in working in with coaching with me or with Mark, you can find our contacts in the description. And we would like kindly asking you to follow us on social media. We also will leave our links in the description. And thank you again for your time and listening. And see you next week.
see you.